Hey everybody, how's it going? So, for those of you that have been following along, I have this Vevor 5 kilowatt diesel heater that I've converted over to run off of two Ryobi batteries. It's got a reduced transformer that reduces it the 18 volt DC down to 12 volt DC, plumbs it in, blah blah blah. Bob's your uncle. Everything works great. Got other videos on that. But what I've been using, because the exhaust pipe on these, you guys can see, comes out from underneath. There's not enough clearance. It does have these feet on it, but it's still, you still have to use at least a 2x4 to lift it up. Otherwise, your exhaust pipe is going to be touching whatever is underneath it, which, no matter what it is, isn't a good situation. And in some instances, can be a horrible situation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build some risers for this. I'm just going to use this old piece of angle iron, bed frame angle iron I have. I've got tons of this stuff. I've measured the width, roughly 6 inches. I say roughly 6 inches because I'm not a carpenter. That's why I make things out of wood. I can weld things onto metal. I'm a terrible woodworker. So anyway, so 6 inches. So we're going to need 4 6 inches because what I'm going to do is you'll see. So let's go over here. Let's mark this off. Let's go 6. 12, 18, 24. So you can see I've marked the angle iron all along. That's where I'm going to be cutting to get 4 6-inch pieces. There's some holes in this. It doesn't matter. Not for my purposes anyway. So we'll take this over to the chop saw. I'll set the camera up over there and we'll cut it. All right, we're over here at the chop saw. I've got it all marked. I'm going to clamp it in and we'll start cutting. Line it up with the marks. And it doesn't have to be precise. I'm not building an aircraft here, so we just want close to 6 inches within a millimeter or so. How's that for mixing your SAE and metric? I'm bilingual when it comes to measurements. Yeah, always wear your face shield when using a chop saw and grinders. I'll post a video up of this chop saw about 6 months ago, I think it was. I had a blade come apart at speed and launched chunks of it stuck into my wall. I'll post a picture if I can find it. So I'm wearing my face shield. We're good to go. There we go. Put the face shield back. Come over here, pick up our 6-inch piece. Now we just got to cut 3 more of these. And then I'll show you the next phase after I cut those. All right, we're back over here at the workbench at the vise. I've already gone ahead and cleaned one up. I just used the flap disc on my angle grinder here, 4.5-inch angle grinder, to ground it all off on the outside. You don't have to. You really only need to about 1/2 inch in if you're MIG welding or stick welding. And then on the inside, I ended up doing as much as I could. I didn't get right into the corner because I'm not going to be welding in the corner. Again, these holes won't matter. Doesn't matter how I'll line it up. So let's go ahead and do this. Let's grab our face shield again. Grab the old angle grinder with an old worn out flat disc. Make sure we're clamped good. I've got a fiberglass fireproof blanket here because I've got some propane torches and stuff back there. I don't want to send sparks at it. All right, so there we've ground down the outside, cleaned it up enough to weld, and the inside we're going to just get in as much as we can. Alright, so you can see now that I've got the inside ground down about 1/2 inch on either side, but you'll see I've left this little bit there and that little bit there because that's the way the vise is. So I just got to come over to this side of the vise and clamp it in there and grind that last little bits off. It's warm, but not burning hot. Alright, we've got 2 of these ready to go. I'll do the other 2 and then I'll set up over at the welding table here and we'll get to welding. Alright, we're over here at the welding table. I've got one of my clamps locked onto the table. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tack them in place like that, tack them a couple of tacks, and then weld them solid. I don't even know if they need to be welded solid, maybe a stitch weld. Just try and get these lined up a little better. Got them fairly tight together because I did put a slight bevel there on both sides actually, so should be good. There we go. Okay, so we're going to put a couple of tacks on that, then we're going to flip it over, weld it. I don't know. We're going to do something here. Do we have enough welding gas? We do. Machine on. Okay, I'm going to get the camera set up in a way that you guys can see this. So hold on a sec here. All right, here we are. We've got it all clamped, set up. I've got the welder on, the gas on, gloves on, mask on. Maybe a couple of tacks here. Cut the end of the wire off. There's a blob on there. You should always trim your wire. A little cold. I'm going to have to turn the heat up, but for tacks, those will hold. As you can see, it's don't usually wire brush my tacks, but just to show you guys. There you go. They're a little bit high. So we'll turn the heat up on the machine a little bit, and we'll put a couple of stitches on this end. We don't really need the clamp, but we're going to clamp it anyway, just so it doesn't move on me. Let's go up with the heat a bit. Alright, now the reason I just put a bunch of tacks instead of running a bead, because I don't want to burn through this. And I'm not looking for super strength anyway. I just want penetration here, which we have. So we'll flip this over, we'll weld the other side a little bit, and then we'll grind it. There we go. Just a bunch of tacks. Maybe I'll run a bead on the other side. I just don't want to put too much heat into it and warp this. It doesn't take a lot. It's a small bead, but a bead nonetheless. Nothing fancy or pretty. But it'll do. Now that's not coming apart, so that's all I'm going to weld it. I'm not going to weld it all the way out to the ends. That's never going to come apart. Never. So we'll do the other ones, and then I'll show you how I'm gonna mount them to the machine. So hold on. All right, we're over here at the workbench here. There's the holes. So what you can do is measure them. I think they're 6 1/4 from center to center of the holes. Or not 6 1/4, sorry, 3 1/4. Roughly 3 1/4. So you can do that and then mark it with a soapstone or however you want. What I'm going to do first is find the center of these, which should be 3 inches, of course. Okay, so we've marked the center. I'm going to use the old math set here. You know, the one that like you got every year when you were a kid, but you only used like 2 things out of it, but you lost the rest of them. So every year you had to get a new set when you were in school. I remember that. So what I'm going to do is measure from the outside to the outside hole, the furthest reaches. I'm going to place it on there. I'm just going to eyeball this. We'll see how close I get. Use a Sharpie. Is eyeballing it the best idea? No, it's not, but let's make one on that side. One there. So there's our dots. We'll do the same thing on the other one, and then we'll go over to the drill press and drill them. See how it works. All right, let's go over to the drill press, or let's mark these and then go over to the drill press. All right, here we are over at the drill press. I've got one of them marked, and I used a center punch to dimple the metal here to get me started. Now, depending on what hardware you're going to use, you got to find yourself some nuts and bolts or whatever you're using, and that'll be the size drill bit you want. I'm going to start with the smaller bit to drill a pilot hole first. Let's get it centered on the dimple. That should work. Shot of oil. It's surprisingly easy for bed frame angle iron. This stuff is the baloney of the metal world. You don't know what's in it. That's the size we need. I might just upsize it one. Jesus, what's the next size I have? That's huge. Okay, you know what I could use is one of these. Let's go with this one. I'm gonna use a step bit in here. Maybe let's go with the big boy right off the bat. What do we got there? What size is that? It's a bit large. We don't want that one. Third. Let's go with this one up to 930 seconds. Perfect. I think that's the size of the bolt, so we need to go one more. If we have it in here. Fits. Cut. Let's go one more. If we can. There we go. Spin this around. Line it up. Clamp it. There we go. Where did I put my bolt? So now we got a bit of wiggle room in there. Not too much. Just where we go. There we go. Just enough in case my measurements weren't as precise as they probably aren't. All right, let's go back over to the workbench and bolt this up. All right, let's bolt her up. There we are. We've got our piece with our holes in it. The size of your hole is going to depend on whatever hardware you choose. I've got these bolts. I'm not even sure what size they are. I never measured them. I just know that they fit through these holes perfectly. So I got 4 of those, 2 nuts. I've got the front one on already. It fit perfectly. Let's hope this one does too. Because remember, I just eyeballed this. So let's give her a look. Whew. Like it was meant to be. Now I was going to double nut these so they won't come loose ever, or until I want them to, but when I tighten the one on the front, it snugs up really good. Like, it isn't going anywhere. These things have virtually no vibration. There's not a bunch of moving parts. There's a fan and the fuel pump are about the only moving parts in it. So you're only going to get vibration if your fan's out of whack or something's wrong. So let's tighten these up. Now you don't got to go super tight with this. Yeah, that's good. Nope, can't get that one. Yep, that's snug. If you're worried about it, you can put some Loctite on it. I'm not worried about it. That looks pretty good to me. And it looks a whole lot better than this ghetto contraption of chunks of wood holding it up. Let's bring you guys down here and take a look. That's how it looks from the side. Now, I know somebody in the comments is going to say, well, you should have made it wider because it's going to be all tippy now. It's not tippy at all. I mean, if I punched it, it would fall over, but it's not even remotely tippy. I had it running outside for hours and it was windy out. Nothing. Somebody would have to physically knock it over. It's not going to happen. I'm not worried about it. So if you are, you can make the bottom half of these wider if you choose, or you can just add something onto this to make it wider. And as far as the bottom half of these, you could drill holes there to mount it wherever you're putting it, in your camper, your trailer, your cabin, your garage, whatever. But this is a whole lot better than the ghetto looking wood. Hold on, I'll just take you guys off the tripod. Give you a better look from underneath here. There you go. We've got plenty of clearance now. There's the exhaust. So we're pretty good. Let's take a look there, how it looks from the front. That's it from the back. Ignore the not so pretty welds, but they'll hold for what it is. I will probably take them off and just spray paint them black. You can do what you want with yours. Paint them red, paint them purple, paint them rainbow colors if that's your thing. But you should paint them. You should do something with them so they don't rust. So anyway, that's it, you guys. If you got any questions or comments, leave them down below. I'll answer them to the best of my ability. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. See you later. Bye.